Mary, Virgin Mary, shake the palm, and the dates will get, you will get a ripe date. We know that ripe date always ripe date is a summer fruit. That means the date of birth should be in summertime. Why the Christians celebrate the Christmas in December? I mean, in the winter.
Well, I already explained this, brother. I already pointed out that it had to do with the winter solstice. It had to do with the Saturnalia, the celebration of Saturn, and it had to do also with the celebration of Mithra, the Persian cult, which was popular in Rome and Greece at the time. That winter and the arrival of the sun, the beginning of the days starting to get longer again, and the winter solstice, the 25th of December, this was a time which had always been looked at in ancient times amongst the pagans as being a special time. So this was the date which was chosen because of its appeal in the hearts of the pagans who Christians were trying to convert. They chose that day in order to make it more acceptable, Christianity more acceptable to the pagans who they were calling. Our sister's question, from the Islamic point of view, when can we give gifts to a person? Anytime. Anytime. Anytime you feel a desire to give a gift, you give a gift. In terms of their wedding anniversary, see, once you get into wedding anniversary, then you're back into that yearly celebration, which Islamically it is not allowed. Wedding anniversaries for Muslims is out. So if you wish, for example, your husband, he's done something nice, you give him a gift. You don't have to wait until that time of year, maybe in between then he's done a lot of things you don't like, so you end up giving him a really, not too nice gift, right? You give him a gift when you feel good. This is a better time to give the gift.
Assalamu alaikum. Sir, I understand that getting involved in any Christmas occasion is forbidden to a Muslim. Now, in our case, sir, in the school is being and we have a subject like music, vocational arts, wherein we are obliged to get involved in the Christmas occasion. Like for instance, making this serenade, caroling, practicing songs in music, and also making projects like lanterns and Christmas trees, cards for this vocational subject. Now, if we will not do this one, we might be failed on that subject or given lesser grade. Now, actually, this is not a question. What can you advise me regarding that as a Muslim? Thank you.
Okay, what this is telling us, just for those who couldn't really hear too clearly the question, and I think it's probably better to leave that microphone off. I think it's making more noise on than it is off. The question of our brother here is on the circumstances where a Muslim young people may be in schools and the school requires you to do certain courses in art or whatever, and when Christmas time comes around, the art teacher wants you to make pictures of, or statues of, or whatever, of the things which are associated with Christmas. What do we do then? Because if the child or the young person doesn't do this, then they will get less marks, or they may get 0, and it will affect their overall grade. I would say that one, this should make us think that it is necessary for us to set up our own school. That's number one. Of course, realistically speaking, we can't decide today we want to get our own school and we have one tomorrow. So it means this is to bring to our minds the need, the necessity of setting up our own school. we still have the practical circumstances of what to do given that reality. I would say that if the child, the young person, gets a lower mark but maintains their Islamic integrity, that's better. It's better for young kids to realize, to stand up for what they believe in. You know? I mean, if it means that they're going to be kicked out of the school and being deprived of an education altogether, then that's another circumstance. Under that circumstances, for survival purposes, they may do as much as is necessary to get through. Okay? As much as is necessary, just the minimum necessary to get through. But in most cases, I don't think they're going to be thrown out of the school and everything else. It's just a matter that the grade in that particular subject will be lower. But it is better for your child, for the young person, to feel that they would prefer to get a lower grade to please God than to get a higher grade to please themselves and their family. It's better for them to grow up with that kind of conviction, because what is most important ultimately is the pleasure of God. So I would advise, my son or my daughter, if the teacher requires this, and if you don't do it, you're going to get a lower grade, then you explain to them that you can't do it because your religion doesn't allow you to do it. You will take the lower grade. You try to make some kind of other arrangement, if it's possible that they can give something, some alternative, that there may be something in your religion which is comparable, something which you may do, decorative or whatever, and they can accept that as a substitute, then all the much the better. And I would suggest too that as a parent, you should go to the administration of the school and try to speak on behalf of your child, young person, to give them that kind of support, whatever support you can give them. But ultimately, as I said, in the end, it is important that you try to stand your ground as long as and as much as you are able. Yes, that's what I said in the very beginning. Pardon? Yeah, it is a part of Muslim faith. Any Muslim who denies that Jesus was born without a father exits from Islam, is not considered a Muslim, because it is something stated in no uncertain terms in the Quran. And for a Muslim, they have to believe in what the Quran says. The person who denies the Quran leaves Islam. There's a chapter in the Quran, if you get a hold of an English translation, chapter called Mary, dedicated to Mary, the mother of Jesus. Take this chapter if you'd like, just not taking what I'm saying, but take it and read it. You will read about the birth of Jesus, the miraculous birth of Jesus. Not only that, but you'll also read that we believe in another miracle concerning Jesus, which even Christians don't know about or believe in. It was that Jesus spoke as a newborn baby in defense of his mother. When the people accused her of fornication or adultery, Jesus defended her, saying that she was not. She was a chaste woman, and that he was a prophet of God, and confirmed the faith in the one true God. If the government gives a holiday, meaning a day you don't have to come into work, it's a day you don't have to come into work. I mean, you don't have to take that now and say, okay, this is my opportunity to go and celebrate with them. No. If you choose to do that, then you have entered into the celebration. But you're taking that day off, as on the weekend. This is something which has been given across the board for anybody in the country. You take the day off. Sure. I mean, the point is that you are working, and the company or the institution pays you on the basis of the work that you do. They have chosen to give you some holiday